Today I wanna show you guys what it took me to build this gaming PC for $300 and basically summarize 2024 and talk about what my plans are moving forward. Let's begin with my profession itself. Usually, I don't get a chance to build every single computer the way I want. As you guys know, I'm an indie system integrator. I have to build whatever the customer pays me for, but today is a special day and I decided to build something unique, something that requires all of these stars to align. Now, when the budget is high, overpaying for a component or two is not a huge problem, but when $300 is all that you have to work really hard to make sure that everything matches the color scheme of your choice. So, what is the color scheme for this PC? Now, personally, I like black parts with red LEDs. Red is my favorite color, but when I look at black and white builds, they stand out a lot more than anything else. And I don't mean the all-white builds that a lot of people like. I think mixing white with black makes the colors stand out a lot more, which is why I decided to build such a PC today. It's something that I really wanted to do for a long time. Around 6 or so months ago, I bought a lot of LGA 1150 motherboards. Most of them were Asus H81MK models, while this one was a bit different. It's almost like it was asking to be used in a black and white build, which took a long time to assemble, but when I set a goal to myself, I always accomplish it no matter what, even if it takes 6 months. But what about the other parts? Surely we can find everything that we need for $300, right? Boy, I could not have been more wrong. This is approximately when our economy decided to turn over. The prices rose and the market went dry, which made it a lot harder for me to build this PC, but eventually I came across every single part that I needed for this build. Now the processor, the cooler, the RAM and the SSD were not hard to find, but the power supply along with the GPU took me around 5 months to find. Every time I came across a power supply, it either had ketchup and mustard cables or it was really low quality. As you guys know, DeepCool got sanctioned around a year ago. They were the biggest PSU supplier in our country, and with them gone, we are left with very few choices. You are either getting a cheap and unreliable power supply with ketchup and mustard cables, or you have to overpay for reliable but expensive models that are upwards of $80. But eventually I found myself a used DeepCool PF500, which was the only budget power supply that had plug cables for under $35. In terms of graphics card, I only had one choice, Asus Dual GTX 1070. It was the only white GPU in this price range, which actually took me a while to find because most of the ones I found were either overpriced or had something wrong with them, hence why it took me so long to finish this build. Now at this point I had almost gathered all of the parts needed, but I was missing a case. Thankfully, we've been having an abundance of white cases the past few months, so I wasn't too concerned about finding a white case with white fans. You guys have probably seen me use this case in many of my previous builds, and the reasoning behind it is pretty simple. It just works. There is no competitor to this case in price or in quality, and in terms of case fans, I went for these newly imported CoolKeeper ones, which are pretty much the best fans that I have ever purchased. They use Molex connectors, but when you daisy chain them together and connect the main fan to the case, you can control the colors with a single button, which is just insane for $4 fans. I actually bought all of the fans that the shop had, because these fans are simply amazing and I wanted to have as big of a supply as possible. Besides, look how amazing the computer turned out to be. And I know that case fans are simply a small portion of what a computer is, but I have always prioritized the exterior look and the overall presentation of the product over anything else. Of course, you can always save money and build a similar PC with cheaper parts, But that's not the kind of style that I personally follow. This particular computer is probably the best presentation of what I'm capable of as an indie system integrator and what my priorities are regardless of the price. And those of you who are wondering about how much I sell these PCs for, let me say it like this. I don't ask for much, but I value my work. Higher quality has higher price. Obviously, the prices will differ from region to region, but here, these PCs go for around $400, while mine are usually priced somewhere between $420 to $450 US. But anyhow, now that we're done building the computer, let's take it for a spin and see what it can do in games. That'll be all in terms of gaming benchmarks. Now let's talk about the channel and what you should be expecting in 2025. First, let's summarize everything up to this point. I've been making videos on and off for many years now. I've always been into gaming and making videos has always been like a hobby to me. Nowadays, I don't play games all that much anymore, mostly because of how busy I am. But when it comes to making videos, I just enjoy it way too much. I'm honestly kinda sad that I didn't commit to it way earlier, but I'm still happy that I made this choice in the end. As it stands, I'm on my way to becoming a full-time content creator. For you guys, this will translate into more or better content. For example, I'll be making bunch of shorts every week. It's something that a lot of people enjoy watching, myself included. So as long as there's a demand, I'm gonna provide that content. I will also be uploading bunch of photos on my Instagram. All the social media will be linked in the description, by the way, as well as on my YouTube homepage. In the beginning of 2024, I set a goal for myself. The goal was to upload a video every week and reach 1K subs by the end of the year. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't think I'd manage either of those two things. Weekly uploads was especially difficult, not because of how much work I had to put in, but because of the difficulty of coming up with an idea for the videos every week. But thanks to your amazing support, we managed to reach 1K subs. You guys are honestly amazing. I've definitely learned a lot of things after a year of content creation. And obviously there's a lot more to learn, but for now, all I can do is to keep moving forward, keep making content, and hopefully we can reach 10K subs by the end of 2025. And that is pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope everybody is doing alright. Hope you're enjoying the holidays. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in 2025. Bye bye.